Namaste friends, welcome to eSpirit World channel. On 28 July 2025 at 7:02 p.m., fiery Mars will enter the earthy zodiac sign of Virgo, where it will remain until 13 September 2025. Mars, known as the commander of planets, symbolizes action, aggression, courage, blood, war, and fire. It also rules over technology, engineering, and mechanical work. Its transit always carries a strong energy shift, especially when it changes elements. Virgo, an earth sign ruled by Mercury, is known for its analytical nature, perfectionism, and focus on health, detail, and service. When Mars moves into Virgo, its fiery, impulsive nature is forced to become more disciplined and precise. This is an excellent time for technical innovation, strategic planning, and productive energy, particularly in fields like medicine, military, and engineering. However, there is a cautionary note. Saturn's aspect on Mars during this period may cause tension, delays, or conflict. The fire, Mars, and Earth, Virgo, combination under Saturn's influence can sometimes trigger natural disturbances such as earthquakes or structural breakdowns. Increased chances of traffic accidents or sudden mishaps may also occur, especially in southern regions of countries or areas vulnerable to instability. On a personal level, this transit demands careful use of energy. Avoid impulsiveness, instead, focus on improving routines, health, and efficiency. It's a great time to channel Mars drive into well-structured goals. In summary, while Mars in Virgo can bring productivity and progress, the Saturn influence suggests we must act with caution, patience, and precision. Use this period wisely to strengthen foundations, both literal and metaphorical. Aries sign. For Aries natives, this Mars transit holds special significance. Mars, your ruling planet, also governs your 8th house, and during this transit, it will move into your 6th house, a placement generally considered favorable in Vedic astrology. The 6th house represents enemies, competition, diseases, debts, and daily challenges. Mars here empowers you to face adversities with courage and determination. You are likely to outperform your rivals and emerge victorious in competitions. This is an excellent period for those preparing for exams, legal battles, or sports. It also boosts your stamina and overall health. In most cases, you'll notice a surge in confidence and resilience. Financially, this Mars transit is linked with gains from precious metals like gold and copper, luxury goods, and valuable assets. You may invest in or profit from items of value, making it a strong time for wealth building and resource management. Your respect and reputation in society may grow, especially if you channel this energy wisely. However, keep in mind the aspect of Saturn, which may create pressure or provoke conflicts. Avoid unnecessary disputes and don't underestimate your competitors, even if they appear weak. This period rewards discipline, strategic action, and intelligent decision-making. Act with focus and integrity, and results will favor you in the long run. Offer salty snacks to your friends or colleagues. This small act of sharing will help strengthen your Mars energy and attract positive outcomes. Taurus sign. For Taurus natives, Mars governs your 7th, partnerships and marriage, and 12th, losses, isolation, houses. At present, Mars is transiting through your 5th house, which governs matters related to education, children, romance, and creative expression. This placement is traditionally considered unfavorable, and the situation is further intensified by Saturn's aspect on Mars, making this a delicate period. During this transit, it is advised to avoid taking emotional risks, especially in matters of love and friendship. Misunderstandings or conflicts may arise if you act impulsively. Those involved in a romantic relationship should proceed cautiously and avoid over-expectations or confrontational behavior. Students must stay focused. Mental distractions, arguments with classmates, or lack of discipline can hinder academic performance. Concentration will be the key to success during this time. In terms of health, stable conditions can be maintained only through disciplined habits and a sattvic, pure lifestyle. The relationship with children may also be tested. Practice patience and avoid harshness in words or actions. Spiritual practices, positive reading, and a focus on uplifting thoughts will help in keeping mental peace. Although the energy of Mars may feel intense, if channeled constructively, it can fuel disciplined study, creative efforts, or spiritual introspection. Avoid impulsive actions and let this transit pass with calm wisdom. For planetary peace and emotional stability, pour fresh water on the roots of a neem tree regularly. This remedy helps neutralize Mars' harsh energy and invites clarity of mind. Gemini sign. For Gemini natives, Mars governs your 6th house, enemies, debts, health, and 11th house, income, gains. Currently, Mars is transiting your 4th house, which rules over home, family, real estate, mother, and inner peace. Traditionally, this is not a favorable placement for Mars, and with the aspect of Saturn, tensions may increase during this period. During the Mars transit in Virgo, you are advised to remain extra cautious in household matters. Misunderstandings with relatives, especially within the family or among siblings, can escalate quickly if not handled tactfully. Refrain from arguments, particularly concerning property, inheritance, or real estate transactions, as such disputes can become prolonged and emotionally draining. Health-wise, this period demands care, especially for those dealing with heart or chest-related issues. Emotional stress can affect physical well-being, so maintaining mental calmness is crucial. Pay special attention to your mother's health during this time. If she has any chronic illness, ensure timely checkups and proper treatment. In terms of domestic life, maintaining harmony will require patience, compassion, and a willingness to compromise. Focus on creating a peaceful home environment rather than pushing your point of view. Although financial gains may still be possible due to Mars' lordship over the 11th house, internal peace and family matters should be your priority now. For peace and emotional stability during this challenging transit, offer sweet milk at the roots of a banyan tree on Tuesdays. This traditional remedy calms Mars' aggressive influence and strengthens domestic harmony. Cancer sign. For Cancer natives, Mars is considered a Yokarka planet, ruling over your 5th house, intellect, children, romance, and 10th house, career, karma. Now, as Mars transits your 3rd house, the house of courage, efforts, communication, and siblings, you are likely to experience a constructive and dynamic phase. This is a favorable placement, as per classical astrology texts. Mars in the 3rd house enhances willpower, sharpens communication, and gives you the strength to face challenges head-on. You will be able to complete pending tasks and may see long-awaited efforts finally yield results. Professionals engaged in travel, logistics, marketing, journalism, or technical fields are likely to experience noticeable gains. There is potential for success in competitive exams, new initiatives, and personal ventures. This transit also gives you the courage to speak your truth and the drive to stand your ground confidently. Matters related to love and children may also move in a positive direction, but due to Saturn's aspect on Mars, emotional maturity will be required. Avoid possessiveness or ego-driven decisions in romantic relationships. Meet your loved ones with patience and respect. Relationships with siblings and neighbors will improve if you consciously avoid anger and pride. This Mars transit brings energy, courage, and growth, but those who act with patience and wisdom will gain the most. For auspicious results, consciously avoid anger and ego, and make efforts to maintain harmonious relations with your siblings. Humility and calmness will enhance Mars' positive effects during this transit. Leo sign. For Leo natives, Mars is a Yokarka planet ruling over your 4th house, home, mother, inner peace, and 9th house, fortune, dharma. Mars is naturally beneficial for your chart. However, during this transit, Mars will move through your 2nd house, which governs speech, family, savings, and food habits. This is not considered an ideal placement, especially with Saturn's aspect intensifying Mars' influence. While Mars itself is favorable for you, this transit may bring challenges in family dynamics. Harsh words or a domineering tone can cause misunderstandings. It's essential to keep your speech gentle and diplomatic. Choose your words carefully, especially during sensitive discussions. In matters of finance, stay cautious. Avoid lending money impulsively and ensure your valuables are stored securely. Be mindful of expenditures that are not necessary and avoid arguments over shared wealth or inheritance. Health-wise, be careful of issues related to the mouth, eyes, or throat. Avoid spicy, heavy foods and maintain good oral hygiene. Students may feel mentally scattered. Focus and mental discipline will be crucial to academic success. This transit is more about containment and balance than action. By exercising restraint and mindfulness, you can easily neutralize any negative influence Mars might bring. To maintain peace of mind and family harmony during this transit, recite the Hanuman Chalisa daily. This sacred text strengthens Mars and protects against unwanted conflicts. Virgo sign. For Virgo natives, Mars rules your 3rd house, courage, siblings, communication, and 8th house, sudden events, transformation, longevity. Currently, Mars is transiting through your 1st house, ascendant, your own sign. This transit directly affects your personality, health, and behavior, and traditionally, it is considered challenging, especially as Saturn casts its aspect on Mars throughout this period. Mars in the 1st house may increase irritability, haste, or aggression in your approach. You might act impulsively, speak harshly, or become restless under pressure. While your energy and confidence may rise, it is important to channel this fire into constructive pursuits such as disciplined exercise, focused goals, or spiritual practices. Take extra care while driving or using sharp tools or electrical items. Physical injuries or inflammation are possible if caution is not exercised. Digestive issues, acidity, or skin problems could also arise if diet is neglected. Married life or close partnerships may go through turbulence. Ego clashes or impatience with your spouse or partner can disturb peace. Practice listening with calmness and avoid asserting dominance in relationships. This is a transit of self-awareness. Observe your reactions, regulate your impulses, and practice humility. You will gain much if you choose patience over provocation. To reduce the harshness of Mars in your ascendant, never accept gifts or freebies, even small ones. This helps to balance karmic debts and strengthens your personal discipline during the transit. Libra sign. For Libra natives, Mars governs your second house, wealth, speech, family, and seventh house, marriage, partnerships, public image. During this transit, Mars moves through your 12th house, the domain of expenses, isolation, hidden enemies, and foreign affairs. This is traditionally a challenging placement, and with Saturn's aspect on Mars, its impact becomes more intense. This period calls for serious financial discipline. Unnecessary or impulsive expenditures may rise, and managing your budget wisely is crucial. The presence of the second lord in the 12th house can weaken savings, so avoid risky investments or large-scale purchases. From the perspective of relationships and marriage, this transit may bring moments of emotional distance or tension with your spouse or business partner. Miscommunication or unmet expectations can disturb harmony, especially if anger or pride enters the picture. It is advisable to approach sensitive topics gently and listen more than you speak. If your profession is linked with foreign countries, remote work, or travel, there may be some benefit provided you work diligently and ethically. Health-wise, pay attention to hidden ailments and get proper rest. Keep your mind and body free from stress by adopting calming routines such as prayer, meditation, or nature walks. Avoid any kind of secrecy or underhanded behavior during this transit, as Mars in the 12th house can make you vulnerable to mistakes with long-term consequences. For peace and protection, offer red sweets at Hanumanji's temple and distribute the prasad among people. This remedy helps purify Mars energy and protects against losses and misunderstandings. Scorpio sign. For Scorpio natives, Mars is your ascendant lord and also governs your 6th house, which relates to enemies, debts, competition, and disease. Now, as Mars transits your 11th house, the house of gains, achievements, and social circles, you are likely to see a period of progress, provided you stay mindful of Saturn's ongoing aspect on Mars. This is a beneficial transit, especially for matters related to career, business profits, and social support. If you've been working hard, this is the time when rewards and recognition may begin to manifest. Those in competitive fields, sports, defense, or leadership roles may especially benefit from Mars' strong presence in this position. You may also find yourself surrounded by influential allies, and if managed wisely, these networks can bring long-term success. However, Saturn's influence suggests that these gains will not come without effort and discipline. Avoid hasty decisions and don't rely solely on luck, plan and act with responsibility. Health will remain stable, and for many, issues related to past illnesses may start resolving. However, ensure that your speech remains restrained and don't allow excitement to turn into arrogance. Your confidence and courage are high, but channel that energy constructively, especially when interacting with friends, colleagues, or elder siblings. For sustained success and protection from negative energies, recite Hanuman Chalisa regularly. This spiritual practice strengthens your Mars and brings mental clarity, calm, and victory in undertakings. Sagittarius sign. For Sagittarius natives, Mars rules over your 5th house, intelligence, children, love, and 12th house, expenses, isolation, foreign matters. Now, as Mars transits your 10th house, the domain of career, profession, karma, and public life, this period brings a surge of energy, ambition, and drive. However, with Saturn's aspect falling on Mars, a note of caution and patience must be added to every step. Mars in the 10th house gives you strong willpower, and you may feel motivated to take bold initiatives at work. If you manage this energy with discipline and avoid shortcuts, your pending professional goals can start materializing. You may also gain recognition from seniors or authority figures, but only if your actions are consistent and grounded. Avoid confrontations in the workplace, whether with colleagues, clients, or superiors, as the influence of Mars can make you more assertive than necessary. Handle professional matters with a blend of courage and diplomacy. Matters related to your father or paternal responsibilities may need attention. Also, stay cautious regarding legal or government-related affairs. Do not ignore rules or deadlines. Health-wise, this transit gives strength, but overexertion or stress-related issues could surface if rest is neglected. A disciplined routine is your greatest shield. To pacify Mars and avoid professional friction, serve and support childless individuals with kindness and charity. This act of compassion aligns your karmic path and draws divine blessings. Capricorn sign. For Capricorn natives, Mars governs the 4th house, home, mother, property, and the 11th house, gains, desires, associations. Now, Mars transits your 9th house, the house of fortune, dharma, father, higher learning, and long journeys. Traditionally, this position of Mars does not yield very favorable results, and with Saturn's aspect upon Mars, caution becomes necessary. This transit may cause some instability in beliefs, spiritual direction, or relationships with mentors or fatherly figures. If there are unresolved issues in such areas, they may surface for resolution. It's advisable to avoid ideological confrontations or rigid thinking. Instead, walk the path of humility and introspection. You may feel drawn to long-distance travel or legal matters, but proceed only with full preparation. Do not leave documents incomplete or duties unfinished. If you're engaged in higher education or preparing for competitive exams, discipline and consistency will be required to succeed. Family harmony may fluctuate during this period. Also, be careful of minor injuries in the hip, thigh, or leg region and avoid overexertion. Moderation in diet and lifestyle will help. This transit may bring mixed results, some spiritual, some material. Whether this energy blesses or burdens you depends entirely on how you manage your thoughts and actions. To reduce the harshness of Mars and attract divine grace, anoint Lord Shiva with water mixed with milk every Tuesday. This sacred act calms fiery energies and aligns your path with dharma. Aquarius sign. For Aquarius natives, Mars governs the 3rd and 10th houses, signifying courage, effort, career, and ambition. Currently, Mars is transiting your 8th house, which is traditionally considered an unfavorable placement. This placement becomes even more delicate as Mars comes under the influence of Saturn, the planet of restrictions and delays. Hence, this period requires heightened caution in multiple areas of life. Professionally, avoid hasty decisions or confrontations, especially with seniors or authority figures. Any disrespect or impulsiveness at work could lead to setbacks. In business too, stay away from risky ventures or conflict with partners. Communication with siblings, neighbors, and close friends must be handled with tact and patience, as misunderstandings may strain important bonds. Health-wise, this transit demands serious attention. Issues related to digestion, genitals, or the lower abdomen, especially the anus, could surface. People working in risky professions involving machinery, fire, chemicals, electricity, or sharp tools must exercise extreme vigilance. A disciplined lifestyle and a diet suited to your body type are essential to maintain health. Driving should be done cautiously, as there is a higher risk of accidents or minor injuries during this time. Emotionally too, this period may bring feelings of restlessness or hidden fears, so staying spiritually grounded is key. To minimize negativity and attract auspiciousness, you are advised to donate gram pulses, chana dal, in a temple on Tuesdays. Such a remedy will help pacify mass harsh effects and bring inner strength. With awareness, discipline, and humility, you can navigate this challenging Mars transit more smoothly and prevent unnecessary disruptions in life. Pisces sign. For Pisces natives, Mars rules the second house, wealth, speech, family, and the ninth house, fortune, dharma. Currently, Mars is transiting your seventh house, which governs partnerships and marriage. This transit is traditionally seen as challenging, and the added influence of Saturn may intensify misunderstandings or delays, particularly in personal and marital relationships. If you are married or in a committed relationship, this period requires extra sensitivity and emotional maturity. Avoid arguments, ego clashes, or harsh words with your spouse. Respect each other's feelings and work toward understanding rather than reacting. Health concerns for your partner may arise, so mutual care and support are essential. For those involved in business partnerships, tread carefully. Avoid initiating risky deals or major financial commitments. The energy of Mars in this position can bring impulsiveness, which may lead to conflicts or financial instability if not kept in check. Travel during this transit is best minimized, especially if not essential. Health issues related to the mouth, throat, or digestion may resurface. Maintaining a disciplined diet and following any medical guidance properly will help avoid complications. This is also a time to embrace spirituality and inner reflection. Turning toward religious activities, meditation, or prayer will bring emotional balance and clarity. Auspicious remedy: to reduce the malefic effects of this Mars transit, anoint Lord Shiva with water mixed with milk every Tuesday or on auspicious days. This will help in calming aggression, maintaining harmony, and protecting your fortune. By practicing patience, mindfulness, and spiritual grounding, you can navigate this transit with grace and turn challenges into opportunities for personal and relationship growth. If this was helpful, please give this video a like and subscribe for more content to support you on your journey. Thank you for taking the time to listen to your body with me today.